Hey everyone, my name is Heba and welcome back. I received these two eyeshadow palettes from one of you guys and it was quite a surprise. There was this box by the door and when I saw it, I was like, I don't remember ordering it. And then I saw that it was from Adept Cosmetics. And then I know I didn't order anything from Adept Cosmetics. So I looked at the box to make sure it was addressed to me and sure enough it was. So then I opened it up and to my surprise, there were two palettes. Two boxes in here. I'm just in awe. So I looked inside the box to see if there was a card or an invoice. There was nothing. Nothing. So I'm trying to think who would send it to me. So I looked on the Adept Cosmetics website to see if there's a contact information, and all they had was email. There's no phone number that I can call, which is kind of a shame nowadays because you want to talk to somebody. But anywho, I sent an email. I told them my name, my address, and if they could let me know who sent this. So the next day they did reply and I found out who sent these to me. I contacted her and she told me not to give out her name, so I will respect her privacy. But you know who you are, and thank you, thank you, thank you so much. This was just, I was just floored. I am so thankful for all of you. I am just so thankful and blessed to have you here. So let's go ahead and see what she sent me. Here are the boxes, and let me tell you, they pack it really nice. So what these are, they're the same palettes, but it's a light and a dark version, and it's the AMUNET palette, and I hope I'm saying it right. So let's open up the light version, and again, they pack it very nice. Very sturdy box too. So you open it up, and there's another kind of a box inside, if you will, or a top part of the box, and the palette's inserted in this styrofoam, really nicely snugged in. So then you take this part off, and here's the palette nicely, snugly fit in here. So yeah, this palette's not going anywhere. So here's what the outside cover looks like. It does have that plastic covering. So let me go ahead and take this protective plastic thingy off, if I can. Kind of very satisfying, isn't it? Okay, that, and I think I need to open up the palette. It does have a protective cover in here, and here is the AMUNET palette in the light version. Oh, there's that plastic that I was looking for. So let me go ahead and open up the dark version. And from my understanding, I believe that there's only one shade that's different between the light and the dark. So it looks the same with that same protective covering, which is again very satisfying to open. Now I know I need to open this one to take that little plastic thing off. Let's take that plastic off, and here is the dark version. So I believe this shade, Seth, is the one that's different. So let me try to do a comparison side by side, or at least on top of each other here. And this is the light version, and the one on the bottom is the deep version. We'll swatch them both together to make sure. So yeah, this one and this one, which is Seth, are different, but pretty much everything else is the same. And let's look at the outside packaging without that plastic protective sleeve there. Very pretty, do like that red. And it does have that raised gold name of this palette. And the back has nothing written on it. And pretty much the other palette is the same. So you really can't tell which one's the light or the deep until you open it up. So let me let you know about this palette and about AMUNET, which is an Egyptian goddess. And most of you do know that I am Egyptian. I was born in Egypt, came here to the States when I was, I believe, about 2 or 3 years old. But I am Egyptian with a little Texas twang, if you will. They don't have much information about AMUNET on their website, so I had to look it up in Wikipedia. So AMUNET, which means the hidden one in ancient Egyptian language, hieroglyphics, is a primordial goddess in ancient Egyptian religion. The city of Thebes was the center of her worship through the last dynasty, the Ptolemaic kingdom, in 30 BC. She is attested in the earliest known of the Egyptian religious texts, and, as was the custom, was paired with a counterpart who is entitled with the same name, but in the masculine, Amun. So AMUNET is the female name. They were thought to have existed prior to the beginning of creation, along with 3 other couples representing primal concepts. There's a lot of information, a lot of names, a lot of places, and it's all fascinating with all the ancient Egyptian information. Just so much there, and it's so old. But now let's talk about the palette. These do cost regular price $48, but they are discontinuing these two palettes, and they have it on sale right now for $30. And the shades in these palettes have been reformulated. The original name was AMUNET New, and then when they reformulated, they just named it AMUNET. There was also a light and dark version in the old formulation. So it does say that this has been reformulated and is no longer vegan. And there are 3 shades in here. Seth, Ptah, and Anhor are considered pressed pigments. And here in the States, it does say that pressed pigments are not suitable for eyes. But in the EU, it is safe for the eye area. That's what it says here on the website. So here's the light version, and you do get 12 shades in here. You do get 5 buildable mattes, and the rest are shimmers, satin, multichrome, and duochrome shades. And then here is the deep one. Again, this shade is the one that's different between the light and the dark. So let's go ahead and get you in closer and let's swatch them together. Okay, how I'm gonna swatch them, I hope it works out. I'm gonna swatch them on my arm, and I'm gonna put the light here and the dark underneath it. So we can kind of compare, you know, both palettes. And I'll do the light one first. Can we bend this back? Yes, I love a palette when you can bend the top back. So let's go with this first one, Osiris. And I love the names, all the ancient Egyptian names. Too bad none of them are my name. But this one is Osiris, which is a satin shimmer. So I'll just put it like that. Very pretty and very smoothing. It's kind of like a taupey with just a hint of like a little bit of a silver in there. Next is Horus, which is a matte. All right, that's a cool tone gray. So this one is Seth, which is another matte. It's another cool tone shade. And the next one, I believe you pronounce it Ptah. And this one's another matte shade, kind of like a purpley, pinky shade. Now we're going to one of the multi-chrome shades. And this one is called Re. Ooh, very pretty. Ooh, it has that kind of like a lilac shift to it. And then the next one is the other multi-chrome shade, which is Hathor. I believe that's how you say it. Ooh, look at that. That one's really pretty. You can see the shift in that. I hope you can. Let's go to the second row, Anubis, which is a shimmer shade. Ooh, another pretty purpley lilac-y shade. Here's another matte, Thoth. Another shimmer on Hor. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Now the next one is a duochrome shade. So here it looks white, but when you swatch it, it's kind of pink. Look at that. I hope you can see that. And the name of this one is Surket, I believe. So yeah, it does look a little white there, and then when you turn it, it looks more pink. And the next one is the shimmer Nymphis. I believe that's how you pronounce this shade right here. And then this one's a shimmer. Ooh, very pretty green. Ooh, I like that one. And the last one is the matte shade Imhotep, which I love the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Love those movies. And Imhotep is in that one. So, ooh, that's a deep, dark brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swatch the dark version here underneath it, and then we'll compare the two. All right, so here are the two palettes that I have swatched, and as you can see, this one, Seth, are different. Pretty much everything looks the same. It is the same. So Seth in the darker version, it looks like a navy blue. But we'll see how it works for the eyes. We'll see how it applies on the eyes. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because pretty much all 11 shades are the same except for one. So I'm going to use the light version in this one. We'll go there first. So let's try using Seth. And yeah, I really can't see it, but it's a good, you know, set the primer, little transition here. So yeah, if I put the dark version Seth in the same spot, it's just going to be 270s, 280s for me. But so far, this matte shade is very nice. It's not looking powdery, not looking dry. Okay, the same brush. Let's go into this one, Thoth. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And let's put you in the outer corner and a little bit below. Let's deepen up the outer corner with this shade Imhotep and just kind of pat that on the outer corner. And I do like that you can build these mattes, because you could always add on, but taking off is a little bit harder. Let me just take it out here in the outer corner. Let me go one more time. This one is a little bit of a cooler brown. Actually, pretty much all the shades that I have on my lid here is a little bit on the cooler side. Now I really want to try this green shade Nymphis. I believe that's how you say it. This one is a shimmer. And those two shades look very pretty together. All right, let's complete it. Now let's go with this shade Hawthorne, which is a multi-chrome. Place you in the inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. It looks white in the pan, but it's not on my lids. Kind of like a mermaid shade. Using the other side of this brush and going back into Nymphes, just kind of blend those two shades together and bring it up into my crease. Blend it out there. And then going back in with Imhotep and just kind of blend out that. And bring it up a little bit. All right, now let's go into the deep version, and let me find a way to put that blue Seth in here. Let's first go into this gray shade Horus. Place you in the outer corner. And let's bring you in the crease. Yeah, this one's a little bit on the cooler side for me. Now let's go into this pinky shade Ptah. This is gonna be a colorful look. Ooh, and place that kind of near it. Not all the way to the outer corner, but just kind of give it some dimension there. And a little bit in the crease here. You know, let me try to do a halo. So I'm gonna go back into Horus, place you in the inner corner, and then going back in with Ptah, just kind of place that on the inside of that, or outside. Let's go into this shade Anhor, and let's put you in the center. And then just kind of build up the matte shades here. Let's go into this duochrome Cirquettes. Place you in the center of that. Let me use my finger. Oh yeah, using my finger with that shade. Wow. Let me just put a little bit in the inner corner right there. All right, let me put some makeup on. I'll come back and let's do underneath my eyes. Let's go with the dark palette first and go in with Seth. I'm gonna place that one underneath my eyes, see how that will look. Let me go in with the pencil brush. So I want that to be a little bit deeper than using a fluffy brush. Now I do like that you can build the shade up because some deep blues could be, you know, kind of intimidating, especially for me. But I do like that you can build this up. And then the light palette, I mean, I could use the same palette, the deep palette, but let's go in with the light Imhotep, even though it's the same shade as the dark palette, and go underneath this eye. And then let's go with Hawthorne, place you in the inner corner on the bottom as well. Maybe went a little crazy there, but it's makeup. Just rinse it off. And I'm going in with the other side of that brush and going in with Anhor, and also place you in the inner corner and in the bottom. All right, let me finish, do my hair, and I'll be right back. Here are the finished looks, and what do you think? Very pretty. I do like this side. This is very pretty. This one's not bad either. I do like using the blue Seth underneath my eyes, and I also put a blue liner in my waterline. And on this side, I did brown in my waterline. But yeah, these are pretty looks. The mattes just blend out very nicely. Don't see much fallout with the metallic shades that I used. And I do like that the mattes are not very, you know, very pigmented. You could build it up. So what I think I want to do is do 2 more looks with these palettes. I don't know if I'll be doing it from the different palettes because pretty much the same, but maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'll use the Seth in different looks. And let's go ahead and get into those. So what I think I'm going to do is again do the light palette on this side and the dark palette on this side. Even though there's only one shade that's different, I'm still going to do that. So let's do on this side the light palette, and let's go in with this one, Seth. This is the one that's different in the other palette. And for me, I think I'm just going to set the primer with this shade. Next, I'm going to go in with Thoth. I do like this shade. This is like a yellowy beigey shade. Now I'm going to go into Imhotep, and I'm going to lightly place that in the outer corner and in my crease. That's not bad for a crease color, because even though this does look deep in the pan, when you apply it, it is more diffused so you can build it up. Now using my finger, I'm going to go into this green shade Osiris, and I'm going to place that one all over my lids, or lid in this one. And add a little bit more in the outer corner here. Using a small shader brush, let's go into Hawthorne, this duochrome shade, and let's add a little brightness to in the inner corner. Just not a lot, because I don't want to change the look dramatically because I just want like a one shade and done type of a look. Now let's go to this one and the dark palette. Again, this shade Seth is the one that's different. Let's go with the Oris first, this gray shade. Place you in the outer corner and in the crease. And I think that's all I'm going to do with that one. Now let's go into Seth. And Seth and the one next to it, Patal, and this shimmer shade, Anhor. These three are the pressed pigments that are not safe for the eye area in the US. So if you take this palette to the EU, you can use those for on the eyes. Put you, Seth, in the outer corner. Now I use the shade in the last look underneath my eyes. From what I could see here using it on my lid, it's not as pigmented as you would think it would be. But again, that's not bad for this type of a shade, this blue shade, because you can always build it up. And let's see, do you think that it looks a little spotchy? Because it did look like that when I was swatching this shade. No, I think it looks okay. I like the shade Seth next to Horus. Those two look very nice together. But you do need to build it up, which isn't a bad thing. Now I'm just gonna go back into Horus and just kind of blend that together right there. And let's go into this multi-chrome shade, Re. I think I'm gonna add Imhotep to the outer corner of my eye. I don't know if I like it just the blue Seth. That's just my preference. That's just my preference. But let's just kind of build up the outer corner here with Imhotep. Hope I didn't mess up this look. Okay, I think that kind of took the blue away, didn't it? Okay, let me go back into Seth and see if I can just kind of add it just a little bit so you can see it. And then just blend everything out. All right, let me go put on some makeup and we'll do underneath my eyes. So from the light palette, I'm gonna go in with Imhotep and place that underneath my eyes. I'm gonna go in with Seth again, just like, I believe it was the second look. I'm gonna place this shade underneath my eyes. Again, you have to build the shade up. All right, so let me go ahead and put some black eyeliner, mascara, and finish my face makeup, and we'll see how these look. Here are the finished looks, and what do you think, guys? Honestly, I think they look kind of similar. I was quite surprised to see that they look a little similar. Let me swatch these two shades side by side. Osiris is what I use for this side. Re is what I use for this side. This is Osiris, this is Re. I guess in the viewfinder they do look similar, but looking up close in the mirror, they are different. They are different shades because you can kind of see that they are. Now the Amunet palettes are very pretty. These are a little bit more on the cool tone side. There you can see it both together. Even though one shade is different, which is Seth here and Seth up here, I don't know which one I would choose. I'm glad I got both, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for them. These are discontinued, so if you are thinking about these, don't wait too long, and they do have it at a nice price. I believe $30 for each palette. But to choose between the light and the dark, I think I'd probably get the dark because the Seth in the light, it's more my skin tone. At least I get a little bit of color with the dark Seth. The light Seth is just more like a setting powder. But the metallics are very pretty. The duochrome shades and the multi-chrome shades are very pretty. I do like the first look, and then probably this look, and then this look, and then the second look. Those are the orders of my favorite looks. But they're all very pretty. They're all very pretty. The matte shades, you do have to build them up, which is not a bad thing, like I've said many times, because some of these shades can be intimidating, like Seth in the dark, Patal, and Imhotep. And I don't see it kind of mudding with each other. And the mattes are very smoothing on my lids. Doesn't look dry or emphasize my texture. So thank you so much. Thank you so much again for sending these palettes, because I've always wanted to try products from Adept Cosmetics. Really do like the cover, the red, and the name Amunet, and I do like the names in the shades in here with all the ancient Egyptian names. That just kind of brings to light about my heritage, the ancient Egyptians. I do look ancient though, don't I? It just lets people know about our culture. And again, you know who you are. Thank you so much for sending these palettes, and I will be reaching for these. Very nice. And every time I look at it, I'll think of you. Well, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video of me playing with the palettes that I got. And it was fun. Very pretty palettes. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.